SEC amending their Binance complaint. This is massive crypto news for altcoin holders, especially altcoin holders that are kind of holding coins that were mentioned in this complaint. Bitcoin right now in the weekly testing an insanely critical support area. And this is like a this is a multi-year, a multi-cycle area for Bitcoin and the total crypto market cap. The question is, as we zoom out, are we on pace? As far as the cycles go, what is going on right now? What can we anticipate? Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. This news, everybody. Here's where it started. SEC labels Cardano, ADA, and Solana, Sol, as securities. This was November 2023. Think about that. November 2023, almost a year ago. And we've come to this place now where we have a headline that says the SEC has retracted its request for the court to classify tokens like Solana, Cardano, Matic as securities in its lawsuit against Binance. This is incredible. And what makes it incredible is, and I've said this time and time again, all of the attacks on crypto that the SEC has done has caused more harm than help investors. And that's what's so ironic about the whole thing. In a joint status report submitted on Monday, the SEC said that it hopes to amend its complaint. The back and forth is craziness. The SEC informed defendants that it intends to seek leave to amend its complaint, including with respect to the third-party crypto asset securities, as defined in the SEC's omnibus opposition to defendants, and it goes on. The SEC filed the omnibus opposition in November, where it alleged that the third-party crypto asset securities, all those cryptos were securities, were offered and sold as investment contracts on Binance's platform. So that's the news, everybody. The headline, a lot of clickbait headlines can go with this. Solana, not classified as security. Cardano, not classified as security. Matic, not classified as security. And interestingly enough, if you go to something like an ADA chart, look at this. Nothing. If you go back to like the weekly chart on Cardano, just to give you a sense, here's June 2023 when Binance was being first attacked really in a big way by SEC. Look at this, almost a 40% drop. And that's like an illustration of cryptos in general, altcoins in general. Huge fear being placed in the markets with all of these attacks against crypto by the SEC. And I say time and time again, we have headlines like this that keep coming up because I don't think that the law is on the SEC side. And that's slowly playing out. And it's required a lot of patience, especially as we zoom out on these macro altcoin charts. So that's the news today. It really is big news. It's another win for crypto, a massive, massive win for crypto. Let's go over, we're going to look at total crypto market cap as it relates to altcoins, everything. But I wanted to give an update because I did a video, it might have been yesterday. I don't remember when the last Bitcoin video was, but Bitcoin, certain things happening on the weekly. We'll break down the shorter term price action on the daily. But this weekly chart, everybody, look at this 20-week moving average in green being tested. And I'm not saying if that fails that it's the beginning of some bear market or anything like that. But I always do like to see consistencies on these charts. And one consistency for Bitcoin is after the halving to see consistent support above the 20-week moving average. Even if it's going to be sideways for a while, consistent support. Higher highs and higher lows. Here it is last cycle, right? And then if we go 2 cycles ago, here it is 2 cycles ago. Just support after that yellow line that Bitcoin having right here. Support at the 20-week. And there are so many things this cycle around that are different with Bitcoin right now. And that's why I'm not like immediately, oh man, we have our typical bull market, top indicator. Bitcoin broke all-time high this cycle before Bitcoin halving. That has not happened in previous cycles when we zoom out on the chart, right? So Bitcoin really escaped the bear market with velocity, and we've been in a consolidation. If you notice, we've been at a very similar area price on the chart. So I'm not immediately concerned. There's the 50-week moving average down here. We have our bull market doors support area still down there. So bull market high to bear market low, that green area. We saw one support. Is it going to be tested again? I don't know, maybe. But you can see the 50-week moving average kind of confluent with that 618 line down at the bottom, right around $48,000, $50,000 or so. So there's a lot of support on the macro for Bitcoin. And again, this seems like it's a different cycle, right? There's a lot of similarities, but there are differences. So I'm letting Bitcoin continue consolidating, but on the short term, funny enough, I did my video the other day as Bitcoin was just testing 70,000. It was just testing. I started the video, it was just below 70. And then I think right after I uploaded the video, it's just been down. And I left these drawings because this is it. This is a crypto chart. This is a Bitcoin chart. We were talking about the resistance for Bitcoin. And that's why we have these yellow lines pointing down, potential retracement to these moving average areas, right? And we didn't even make the move to this upper trend line all-time high area before getting the retracement. We got the retracement like immediately. So that's what's going on Bitcoin right now. And I want to just discuss now that we see Bitcoin did not break out, right? Like it would have been awesome to see. I think in yesterday's video, it was breaking out here, moving into this range, at least testing all-time highs. Didn't happen. Well, the question is now what? Well, one thing I want to point out, this consolidation, the dip that we're in might not be immediately over. There might be a little bit pain in the shorter term. And if we look at the oscillator, this slower moving momentum oscillator, you can just see right now, just putting in kind of a lower low here and a higher low on price. It's a little bit of, in terms of momentum, and even if you just look at this, kind of a head and shoulders on the momentum oscillator, a little bit of potential downward negative momentum, right? This is not the momentum we want to see for Bitcoin. But with that being said, if it does fall lower, what do we have? We have a really just nice chart to look at in this move of consolidation. We have 3 moving averages. We have the 20-day moving average still around $65,000, right? That's around $1,000, a little bit over $1,000 from where Bitcoin is. The 50-day moving average right around 63,400, right? So a few $1,000s down. And then we do have the 200-day moving average just above $60,000. But I'm immediately watching this area, right? This is really the 20 and the 50. Anytime we get a 20-day crossing above a 50, we always look for, as Bitcoin's moving, to retrace to those areas. And we're going to start getting some confluence with this 200 creeping up into the area as well if we keep getting this consolidation to the side. So that's what I'm watching on Bitcoin right now in the short term. I mean, it's all about support. If we get a breakout to the upside, it would be phenomenal. Maybe we just test the 20 and then it's back to the upside. But we have to be patient. We're at the upper end of, remember, this larger channel. Anything goes in this crypto market. And that is to say, support fails. We're testing the Fibonacci, macro Fibonacci once again. Support fails. We're testing the lower trend line and putting a lower low. All of these things are in play. A $15,000 move to the downside for Bitcoin on this macro chart, when we zoom out and we look back on this chart, does not look like much. So I know we want all-time highs. I know we want to break out to the upside, but I just have to anticipate all of these things, the continued consolidation for Bitcoin. Maybe we get some type of head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head. Maybe we get a right shoulder setup right now, right? And in that case, guess what? We have a really nice target of around $90,000 or so to the upside. It's all about patience, letting these things play out. Where's crypto? Total market cap. I look at this chart and I'm just we looked at Bitcoin. We looked at the consolidation that is, I think, normal and just okay. I think it's healthy, everything that's happening right now with Bitcoin at this stage of the cycle. I look at this chart and I really think the same thing. Look at this chart. We don't need to go parabolic right now. And this applies to altcoin season and everything everybody's waiting for. We're getting close to the fall, so it's going to be interesting to start seeing how things play out. But we're just over 100 days post Bitcoin halving, and there's a Bitcoin halving here. And I think I actually have the wrong date. So we're about 100 days or so, right? If we measure this on the weekly, around 100 days post Bitcoin halving. We're obviously testing this 20-week moving average, but look at just the uptrend of these moving averages after the bear market consolidation. Just look at all that consolidation of these moving averages. There's 3 lines right there, and now they're beginning to separate. And this is exactly what we want to see to kickstart a bull market, right? And that's not to say this wasn't kickstarting something special, but it's post Bitcoin halving where I think the really big things happen that people want to see. And right now, we have the separation of the moving averages trending in the right direction. Let's just see if there's continued support, and let's kind of give it some time for these markets to consolidate, how they're going to consolidate. This has been months of consolidation. We're around the same market cap now as we were back here in March, right? So this has been months. And that just cooling down is one of the best things for crypto. We go to the weekly oscillators and we can see it's not overbought. There's a ton of room to the upside. And if we even just compare it to last cycle around this moment, very similar area on the oscillator, the slower moving momentum oscillator, and even the previous cycle before that. A little bit lower, but actually around the same back here in 2016. If you look at this, and each time Bitcoin was getting, or crypto and Bitcoin was getting ready to enter a really nice bull market. So patience is the name of the game for me. That's just how I see it, everybody. These are just my thoughts. That's all it is. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.